Hello, and everyone, and welcome in to your second round of the season here for the United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, located just south of Austin, Texas. I will be your host tonight, Dave's Freak, as always, alongside my co-commentator, Mr. Adam Moore. How are you doing tonight, bud?
Not bad at all, thank you very much. Looking forward to this 100% race at Kota. I find it a very entertaining track, so we will see what happens.
Apparently, I've been put in a car because I was trying to set up the stream name, and instead they started the moment you and I both joined in, and I'm like, okay, can we get maybe 5 seconds, please?
See, we're not being able to check the settings, which is a problem.
Immediately retire. I can check the settings though. Okay, lobby options. Someone in the Twitch chat, let me know if everything looks good on everything I'm looking at. I'm pulling up the stream now on my computer. I'm gonna have to mute the sound though, so I don't have echo. All right, let's pull that. All right, that looks good. That's good. Those are oh no, not my settings of the profile setting. Is the AI difficulty supposed to be 80? I don't know. I don't know AI difficulty for this league.
Especially for Div 1. It definitely should be.
Oh, for Div 1, yeah, okay, Div 1 makes sense. I was going to say, I know in Div 5, I think it was like 60, but yeah, that's Div 5 for obvious reasons. Yeah, that seems in order. Okay.
Formation
Realistic, dynamic weather. Let's see, we got. Okay, so all that looks good. I don't know whether red flags are supposed to be on standard or not. I swear the damage rate was different, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
Okay. Everything that is enabled. That
should have everything up and good to go. First man out of the pits is the McLaren PMR Tornado. This has just started Sector 2. After him is Muddy, in no particular order, is Muddy Biscuit, JD Devil Noob, Crazy Fish, the Mercedes duo of both Invade and Jankus Logan, and Dan Burnett. Got another Red Bull coming out. It'll be Max Verstappen. I'll just call him Max. Good news is we do have more drivers for this race than we had last week. Bad news is it's only one more driver.
Yeah. Is it better than none?
Maybe next week we'll get 15. One can hope.
Entirely possible.
Oh, wait, no. We got 13 drivers because I'm one of the 14. Oh, my God.
Oh.
So we still only have 13.
13 again. Never mind.
Well, whatever. We had hope.
I'm looking for a strong race from Crazy Fish today.
To get on board with Tornado. He's out of the final corner, crosses the line, DRS open. Coming up the hill now. It's a 100-foot climb. We're not using meters because this is America, home of the free, land of the brave. Hashtag what the F is a kilometer. You're right, I will be very patriotic in this stream because America for the win, baby. What do you mean?
Oh, that's going to become a theme over this coming season with three
very deep
races
there.
In the States.
25-2 through the first sector. They really messed up that first corner at the end of, or the beginning of Sector 2. And he hits the brakes really early and he's backed out. So next man we're going to go to is the Ferrari of Crazy Fish. Not catch his first sector time.
Expect some big things from Crazy Fish. This week.
Out of the hairpin now. Opens up the DRS. This right here is going to be your prime opportunity for overtakes here in turn 1. Top speed of 200 miles an hour just for a split second there out of that ridiculously hard left-hander. It's a 102.7 almost, just under a 102.7 through the first two sectors. Coming through what I would call the hardest corner on the entire track. Down the right-hander. It's a slight decline here. He's got the McLaren of Tornado just ahead. Moves out of the way. To the final corner. On the gas now. Opens up the DRS and a cross line. It's going to be a 33.3 for the Ferrari. Next man behind him is Dan Burnett as he crosses the line now. It's going to be a 32.9. It's pole position for the Alpine.
Alpha Muddy Biscuit P3.
Yeah, with a 33.9. He's just over a full second off Dan Burnett. Genghis Logan, a 33.7, takes P3 away from Muddy Biscuit. JD Devil Noob now. 33.4, that puts him P3. The other Mercedes of Invade crossing the line, and I don't believe he put up a valid time. No, it was invalidated. Would have been a 42.8 there.
The line. P2, 33.1 from the Red Bull.
Over over a quarter of a second behind our pole sitter. I thought it was Jurassic Blaze crossing the line is his teammate Iceboy Fox, who puts up a 33.222, putting him P3. Jurassic Blaze now coming out of the final corner. He opens up the DRS. Really bad run out of the final corner, but it does not matter. He takes pole by over 4/10.
Wow. Fast lap.
Very, very fast lap.
That kind of sets the tone for the rest of qualifying if he can stay at that speed. Very impressive.
Tornado invalidated both his laps, so he's coming in now. Invade has invalidated both of his laps, so he'll be coming in at the end of this lap.
Coming across the line.
He's starting a lap now.
Starting a lap, sorry. Across the line.
RPL Formula One wishing Invade a good luck in his race tonight. As it's a full distance race, 100 laps, or 100%, 56 laps, 100 laps around here would be absolute torture. Whew. 100 laps in TT around here is rough. 100 laps in race trim, oof.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't fancy that.
You would definitely see at least 5 or 6 people just park the car after the first 10 laps. They'd just be like, yeah, I'm not doing 100 of this. I'm going to go take a nap, go to bed, get ready for work, whatever they're doing.
Put it in AI for an hour and back.
I think you would literally see half the field put it in AI for at least half the race. And I don't even know if the admins would blame them. Because I'm pretty sure the admins would be like the leaders of that. It's a 102.665 for Verizon 40 through the first two sectors. Oh, terrible snap of oversteer there.
Big wobble.
But no oversteer here. That's crazy. Ooh, they did correct it a little bit there, though. Through the right-hander. The perfect way to go through that right-hander is just one smooth turn. One movement like Jensen Button used to do. Used to love watching Jensen Button. Driver. I'd say he's the smoothest driver I've ever seen.
He was
Never saw him jerk the wheel. He was always just... You just see him do one little movement, and that was that. Muddy Biscuit across the line.
My mind always goes to...
improves.
Always goes to Canada for Button.
133.6 from Muddy Biscuit. Oh, dude, as a Vettel fan, I remember, I think it was the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix where Vettel went off just a bit. Went off just a little bit and lost the lead because of it, and I was devastated. I was happy for Jensen, but I was like, you cannot be serious. I was like, this couldn't have happened
Fish is retired from the session.
But he has. We're going to go to Evo here.
We'll be back in 1 minute.
Copy. And, oh, Evo's just invalidated, but it was a 25.3 through the first sector. A very good first sector from the AlphaTauri driver. Unfortunately, he's going to have to back off his lap. He's got a Haas right behind him. was actually on an outlap, so no, he thankfully doesn't have to back off. We've got an incredibly slow-moving Mercedes here. It's Genghis Logan. Genghis Logan just employing the day's strategy of just burn as much extra fuel as you can on the outlap. Present 40, I imagine, will be coming in here. He's not going to improve on this lap. That he does. Move over. Muddy Biscuit also coming in. We got Tornado, who's just started a lap. Invader's a bit ahead of him, and Evo still out on track. I'm actually kind of shocked about that. Okay, in that case, we're going to go over to JD Double Noop. We're going to ride along with him. Starting a lap now. Dan Burnett also starting a hot lap. Oh, my leg. We got a yellow in second 3. Might be Jengus just going extra slow to start his hot lap. A Tornado with a 102.37 through the first 2 sectors. He's improved quite a bit. Got a Mercedes just ahead of him. It's the Mercedes of Invade also putting up a lap, so he can't get out of the way of him because he's also on a lap. It's going to hurt Tornado. Across the line now, Invade is going to put up a 133.0, but Tornado bests Drastic Blaze to 32.472, puts him on pole by 27 thousandths of a second. Invade, originally P3, now P4. It's still an incredibly good lap from the Mercedes. Max Verstappen not improving through the first sector. He's over a 10th down on his time. We're going to move over to JD, who's improved by almost 2/10, but he's going to pull into the pits. He may have messed up a corner in the third sector. And Evo's now taking pole by almost a 10th. I was about to say, where's Evo? But he is taking pole position in 132.382. It's 900ths of a second over Tornado. Now we've got cars in the final sector. Invade, I imagine, is on an in-lap. Tornado is on an in-lap. Evo has just run out of fuel. He did not leave much extra fuel there. What else? Easton's still not... I don't think Easton's even come out of the pits yet. Got almost everyone in the pits except Evo, who I know isn't on a lap. Dan Burnett, who's definitely not on a lap. Max Verstappen, though, is on a lap here. Low on fuel, though, and he's just invalidated, and he's over 3 seconds off pace. Okay, so he definitely isn't putting up a lap. We have 5 minutes left in the session, and it looks like everyone will be in the pits in a matter of time. My question now is whether Evo... No, Evo should get in before the time runs out. If he was at the beginning of the lap, he certainly would. I don't think he would. I think he would like enter the pit lane with like 2.5 minutes left, and by the time he'd come out, there'd only be a minute and a half. I'd have to pretty much cut a good chunk of the track just to have a chance. Ooh, we got a car coming out. Is it Easton? It's not. It's an Aston Martin. It's Muddy Biscuit coming out incredibly early for a final run. Still over 4 minutes left in the session. I'm not sure the logic there, and he may have just locked up the brakes, or that's just the game. Next man out of the pits is Verizon 40. Over 3.5 minutes left in the session. Still a bit early, I would say. Easton. No one else coming out yet. So far, it's just the three of Muddy Biscuit, Verizon 40, and Easton. We got 2 more coming out now with a little over 3 minutes left in the session. 2 include... Invade's coming out now, I should say. So the 2 that came out, Jangus Logan and the Alfa Romeo Drastic Blaze. JD Devil Noob also planning on coming out here now. Move quickly over to Muddy Biscuit. Yellow's in turn 1. Worried somebody had lost it or something. Thankfully, it's just them going incredibly slow. Coming through the S's now. Over a 10th down on his time. Muddy Biscuit not improving so far. I'd say Sector 3 is really where you're going to gain the most time here in this session. And looks like he's lifted off a little bit there. I'm not sure why he wasn't pedal to the floor. Opens up. No, he doesn't open up the DRS. He's leaving it closed. He might be doing a warm-up lap here. Verizon 40 definitely not improving through the first sector. Easton with a 153 through the first sector. He hasn't put up a time yet, so it's not an improvement or a... not succeed. As of right now, I can't tell whether he's doing great or bad in the first sector. Up the DRS. Entirely sure why Muddy Biscuit hadn't opened up the DRS there. Put up a 141.0. I'm not sure why he did that. Verizon 40 over 13.5 seconds off. Easton at 102.7. Not sure what lap time here he's looking at, but it could be, I would hope, top 10 position. Was incredibly wide out of the penultimate corner. Keeps it valid, though. Out of the final corner now for Easton. He invalidates. It's a 33.6. It would have been enough to put him only P12, unfortunately. We've got one man in the pits right now. It's Crazy Fish. Next man across the line, Drastic Blaze. He's improved by a little over a 1/10 of a second. Across the line now. It's a 33.211. It's P1 for now. Next man across, Jangus Logan does improve to just ahead of Muddy Biscuit, who's the next man across the line. He's improved by over half a second in the first 2 sectors. How much more time can the Aston Martin driver find here out of the final corner now and across the line? It's a 33.15. It's good enough for P7. Ice Boy Fox, the next man across, didn't improve in the first two sectors. Does he improve in the final sector? He does. It's P6, passing RSF1 Invade. Dan Burnett now does improve on his time, but not his position. He stays P4. Evo improves by almost a tenth, but it's not enough. Drastic Blaze still holding on to the pole. Tornado has invalidated. Verizon 40 has found almost a quarter of a second through the first two sectors. Ooh, very bad run there, though. But it is enough to improve still up to P5, just behind his teammate. And unfortunately, Max Stappen immediately takes P5 from Verizon 40. It's down to P6, and I believe that's qualifying. That it is, yes. Easton's run out of fuel a long time ago. That explains why I saw yellows at the top of the screen. That's qualifying done and dusted as Drastic Blaze takes pole position, followed by SLR Evo, Tornado, Burnett, Max Stappen is your top five.
Sorry about that. I'm back now. Some very quick laps I noticed there.
Very, very quick, yes. Top two look to be in a bit of a class of their own right now. I'm not sure what Tornado would have put up if he had an extra lap or one final lap, but unfortunately he invalidated his last lap, so.
Oh.
Outside of your top five, you got Verizon 40 P6, Ice Boy Fox, Invade P8, Muddy Biscuit, Crazy Fish, your top 10, JD Devil Noob, Genghis Logan, and Easton will be starting 13th.
Interesting. Crazy Fish has only used one set of softs.
Really? He only used one?
One set.
That's a bit shocking, but alright.
Everyone else 2 and 3. Yes, Crazy Fish just the one.
No Piney, Tennis, or Grunty this week. Yeah, there's like, what, 8 drivers who said they can't race today, which is kind of wild. Yeah, we had 8 people say no. We had Breezy, Really Ethan, Aldaf, Steel, Flecking Tomato? That's what I'm going to call him. Diggles and Camo. I mean, you're going to have to help me with that one. Either that's Flecking Tomato or it's some other insane jumble of letters. All right, I'll be right back. I got to take a leak.
Oh, Coater's not that bad. Said no because 100% Coater is awful. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Okay, chat. What do we think? Top 3. Let's have your predictions in. Me. Where are you starting? P6, huh? Got a chance there. Got a chance. Roll on your tyres, avoid any incidents. Penalties. Eastern Drastic and Evo? Oh yeah, SLR Evo, Peter. Mm. Eastern last to first. Bit of a masterclass coming up, maybe. Wreckfest. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's nothing like Wreckfest. We don't want that. Starting soft. Let's go medium to the end. Could work.
And I'm back.
I've got some questions in chat. Verizon says he's going to win. Which
Well.
P6, it's not a bad place to be.
There's 56 laps in the race. Anything can happen. I mean, seriously, anything.
That's it.
If we allowed F4 drivers in here, one of them could possibly win if it really came down to it. Unfortunately,
It is. My American helmet will give me the power I need. Okay.
all I can say is freedom. Freedom, baby.
Some guys changing tyres. Formation lap is away.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power
So
unit
from
cycle.
last to first, give your
Concentrate
grid
on
order.
bringing tyres and
CR
brakes up to
Easton
temperature.
in P13, Jengus Logan P12, Devil Noob P11,
This is an incredibly far back
Diffish in
angle.
P10.
Sorry for interrupting.
Muddy Biscuit starting. Yeah, you're all right. Muddy Biscuit starting P9 for the Aston Martin. P8 RSF1 Invader the Mercedes. Ice Boy Fox P7 in the Alfa Romeo. Horizon 40 P6 in the Alpine. Max Stappen starting 5th in the Red Bull. Dan Burnett P4 in the Alpine. P3 for Tornado in the McLaren. Evo P2 for the AlphaTauri and starting P1 Rastic Blaze in the Alfa Romeo. Could be a very interesting race. Although I have just noticed my screen will not go off the results from previous setup. And then we'll have to back out and rejoin it. Can't even press start. Okay. Right, okay. We'll do it before the race starts, hopefully, so it doesn't distract anyone. If I could get an invite, please. Thank you very much. Finish this up, thank you. Oh, your car is still on the grid, Days.
Tragically, you're not wrong.
Lights out, away we go. Drastic Blaze into the lead. Evo coming up alongside. Drastic Blaze managed to keep hold of the lead. Evo P2, Tornado P3. Horizon all over the back of Tornado. It was the leaders for now. I will keep you informed until
All right,
Blaze
let's
can
focus now for the rest of the race.
rejoin us.
Cornish, I can't retire on track, buddy.
Either looking at the back of Drastic Blaze doesn't manage to get it done. Max Stapp and Ice Boy having a
Mate, I
big
crashed
fight.
into the... Why not? I don't know, man. It was a rule that they made. It's like, if this thing happens, you can't retire on track because it could cause something. And it's like, oof, that would be rough. I was thinking they would
be rough.
I figured they were going to restart the lobby after quali. I took a screenshot of quali results and they didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. All I needed was confirmation I can retire.
Beautiful.
Top two started on softs. Okay. Crazy fish.
Evo not letting Drastic Blaze go.
They're fighting here for position.
Burnett, Max Stapp and Crazy Fish, Devil Noob, Muddy Biscuit. Oh, Verizon 40 retired. What's happened?
Yeah, what happened there? Oof. That's unfortunate. Evo taking the lead. Dan Burnett passing the Alfa Romeo of Ice Boy Fox. They keep fighting back. Keeps fighting back.
Evo 4 places to P4 at the moment. Really holding on. Oh, shout out to my teammate just hit me in the rear, apparently. So, Dan Burnett is apparently hit.
Oh!
Has there any damage?
Get on board
Looks
with
to be any
Crazy
damage.
Fish to see this. Oh, and Ice Boy Fox is around. I just saw it on board with Crazy Fish. It's a VSC. Ice Boy Fox lost it out of the final corner, and that's all it took. Teammate taking, is that what happened? Wow. Alright then. That's something. I feel like in a 100% race, you just shouldn't even bother fighting each other if your teammates. Just, if the guy behind you's faster, just let him go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And a 50%er, I can understand why you would fight with your teammate for position, but I mean,
100%. There's plenty of time
this
to
race
make
is
the play.
just this race is too long for you to be like, oh, I want to hold on to P5 or whatever position it was. We got a lot of contact between Muddy and Crazy Fish there. Nothing to cause an incident, but
Ice Boy obviously no.
Genghis about to start bump drafting with him NASCAR style here. Pulls out from behind him though, and he goes for the lunge
Get two
down
in
the
one.
inside.
Rewind.
Oh, maybe.
Ooh.
It certainly gets JD. Around the outside now. No, definitely not going to get. Oh, contact between him and JD Devil Noob.
Crazy Fish now up to P6. That's 4 places gained. Crazy fish in the
Crazy fish in the
pits.
pits.
Earlier, I didn't see any damage. But
There definitely was. He's
oh,
changing the way.
definitely was, yeah.
Iceboy Fox also pulling into the pits. Genghis Logan and JD Devil Noob swapping positions. Got a nice helicopter angle here on Tornado, so we're just going to follow along with him. Rustic Place is going to have
Crazy fish
DRS
back
on,
out mediums.
as is Iceboy Fox. Drastic Place. Oh, wow, look at that. He just drives right by him over
Sails
15 miles
past.
an hour faster.
Evo not going to give it up easily, I wouldn't imagine.
Imagine he will. A lot of these guys are not in DRS with the exception, of course, of Muddy Biscuit off the back of Max Stapp and Genghis off the back of JD Devil Noob. And your top two, Jurassic Blaze and Evo. But everyone else is in no
Evo.
man's land right now.
It's not open for Evo.
No, I think he knew he wasn't going to be able to make the move.
Perhaps waiting for the longer straight, the longer back straight.
Yeah, we checked the rules. Leo? I didn't see anything wrong with the rules. We went over them right as the qualifying session started. We didn't see anything out of order, so
No, nothing jumped out.
if anything jumped out to anyone, someone would have said it in the chat. I didn't see anyone say, "Hey, look, this is wrong," or whatever. Resilience, doing good, man. How
There
are you
goes
doing,
Evo.
bud? Yeah, he's gonna. Oh, Drastic actually defends it a little bit there, but Evo just blows right past him.
It is a very long straight and a very effective DRS down that straight. Here at Kota. Oh, Jenks has gone past the Devil Noob.
Get on board with Devil Noob as he tries to switch back. Just barely avoiding contact there. Not going to be able to get it, though. Fighting here is allowing Easton to catch up. He's only 1.2 closing.
Oh, Tornado with a big slap out of the final corner there.
He's going to need to avoid those kind of losses of traction. He wants to be able to make it through this race. He's definitely gonna have to take those tires a good distance. How long would you say the softs go around here in 100% distance?
I would think you around the 20 mark. You don't want to take them much more than that.
Yeah,
I would say.
I mean, I know in the half distance races I've seen people take the softs 12, 13 laps somehow. But in 100, I'm like, is it 20? Could it be 25?
I'd say 20 with the extra fuel on board. And if you go much more than that, I think you're going to lose too much time.
Right back.
Not a problem. Closest battle on track is Drastic Blaze and Evo at the minute. Although Jenks is getting close to the back of Muddy Biscuit.
Okay. Oh, look, we got a bit of a bigger DRS train here forming. If JD Devil Noob had the DRS,
Yes.
that is, we could. He might be able to
Oh,
catch
gone
up
very
to
wide.
Genghis. And oh,
Easton's on him. Ooh, that's
Easton
great.
having to back out. Oh, Devil Noob's the first man with the 3-second penalty. He's lost almost a second to Genghis Logan in the first sector alone. Absolutely awful run for the Haas driver there. As for the music thing with JD, yeah, I can't race with music on.
No.
I don't mind having it on for practice, but during the race, I gotta have total silence. Otherwise, I can't focus worth anything. Easton has taken P9 off JD's hands. He's going to be looking to try and catch up to the duo of Muddy Biscuit and Genghis Logan now.
2 seconds. Let's see how quickly he can close in on him. Drastic. Have a look into the first corner. We'll see. 8/10 back. That is close enough. Not close enough. I don't think.
Nowhere near.
No.
Even if he full
Although-
pushed on the ERS, I think he still would have been about a car length and a half behind him.
Genghis is only 3/10 behind Muddy Biscuit.
Devil Noob's starting to lose a little bit of time to Easton. Has he perhaps burned the tires out already?
Maybe.
May have had one lockup too many. You know, Easton's already caught up by 6/10 since taking P9. It's only 1.6 in closing on Genghis Logan.
Evo with a little more ERS than Drastic Blaze. Not a lot. Tornado. Excuse me. Tornado still with 70%. Devil Noob with just 25% remaining. That's low this early in the race. Oh, little contact between Jenks and Muddy Biscuit. Jenks getting a little frustrated, I think, here behind Biscuit.
Tornado now with a 3-second time penalty. And Easton is almost completely caught up. He's inside the second now. It looks like he's going to get DRS off of these two now. Can't imagine Jenks is going to be happy about that. He's been stuck behind Muddy the entire time. It's cost him to lose. Oh.
Jenks has to get past Biscuit here.
Blaze gets past Evo for P1. Jengus now gets past Muddy Biscuit. He's going to try and pull away, but with his tires overheating, I don't know if he's going to be able to pull away too much.
Oh,
And look at a yellow. Ice Boy Fox, did he reset to track?
It certainly appears that way.
I mean, I go to him and he's ghosted on the racing line facing the proper
Yeah, I do
direction.
the same.
And I'm thinking he may have reset to track. I don't know if the admins are going to enforce that quite as heavily during a race this long.
With no one else around, I suppose it's less issue, but
Maybe it'll be a warning.
he's
If I was a,
lost it
if
again.
I
He's
was
in the wall.
Oh,
And
and he's got no front
reset
wing.
the track there. He's reset the track that time. That was on him.
Okay, yeah. First time I'll give him a pass. The second time, it's like, ooh, okay, maybe you just need to be more careful. But
He's clearly spun out. His tyres are massively overheating, I would imagine.
the worst part is
Get
he's
that
only
hot,
done
no
6
traction.
laps on him.
Oh,
He didn't. Yeah, he hit onto these tires, so
he did.
it's in a really awkward spot.
I'm half
Do you
expecting a
choose to
retirement
stick
here.
around, or yeah, he does retire. I was gonna say, does he stick
Ah,
around or does he park it? Biscuit trying to catch up to Genghis Logan. Looks like he will get him right at the braking zone, or maybe not. Oh, Genghis just barely cuts him off on the exit.
He's
Gonna
just
get a
sat behind,
switchback
watched and
here.
hoping there's a mistake.
Hoping someone makes a mistake here. Both of them having a bit of a slow exit out of that corner, forcing Easton to back off just a bit. Oh, Easton touching the back of Muddy Biscuit there. Muddy Biscuit getting an absolutely incredible exit out of that final corner.
Devil Noob now is 6 seconds in penalties.
Probably not the trend you want to go down or have right now.
No.
He doesn't need to push that hard either. The guy behind him's almost 17 seconds back. Muddy Biscuit not having a great run through the S's, but Easton having a far better run. It's going to give Easton
Much
an
better.
opportunity to perhaps overtake the Aston for P8. Evo and Drastic Blaze again fighting for P1 here.
Muddy Biscuit
10
does
laps
get
on
the
those softs.
DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh, maybe it will. Genghis losing 2 positions before they even turned in. Easton P7, Biscuit Biscuit P7, P8 for Easton. Genghis down to P9.
Drastic Blaze still only 4 tenths, just over 4 tenths behind Evo. Well, 5 tenths now.
Evo having about
Evo and Drastic Blaze
15% more ERS.
they're in a bit of class of their own at the minute.
Genghis is pit.
Oh,
Incredibly early to
that's
be pitting off the mediums.
early. Very early.
Has he forgotten that it's
Onto
a
the
50%,
hards.
that it's not a 50%er? Onto the hards. How long can the hards
Interesting.
go? I wonder. Maybe he might be doing a 2-stop here. Medium hard and then perhaps back onto the mediums. You got Easton and Muddy Biscuit still fighting side by side here through the S's. It cost him quite a bit of time. In fact, JD Devil Noob only 2.5 seconds back now. Drastic Blaze not close enough to make a move on Evo. He'll stay behind him for now.
Doesn't seem to
Dan
be
Burnett
much
also
you can
too
do to
far
get past
back
him.
off of Invade.
Muddy
Muddy
Biscuit
has
gets past
gotten
Easton.
well past him.
What the braking zone that look like.
Yeah,
Uh,
Crazy Fish just ahead of Genghis Logan, and he's going to pass Genghis Logan with the DRS. Genghis' tires are going to be pretty cold, I'd say, up until the beginning of Sector 2 next lap.
According to
know
our
if
chat
he's-
race engineer Patronus, the hards could do between 36 and 42.
36 seems like a pretty short. Oh, we got a yellows for JD Devil Noob. I think he lost that out of turn 19 there.
He is
After that,
into
he's
the
pitting.
pits.
That spin probably caused his tires to overheat a considerable amount.
Yeah.
We got Easton and Muddy Biscuit once again swapping positions for P7. The race continues the way it's gone so far. P7 could be a very tight battle all the way to the end.
Jengis catching up to Crazy Fish at a rate of knots.
And good news for Jenkins is he was able to stay within the DRS. I figured he would have dropped out. Got another yellow. It's JD. Yeah, he took out one of the signs. He's got
And
end
front wing
plate
damage
damage.
again.
Ay caramba. Muddy Biscuit not able to get the move on Easton. We're going to look at this Crazy Fish Jenkins Logan. Jenkins might be a little too far back. Yeah, he is definitely too far back.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he dove deep into the corner there. Almost hit the back of the Ferrari.
We've seen that a few times. Invade is catching up to Dan Burnett. You would imagine Jengis Logan wants to clear Crazy Fish as soon as possible, get some clear track. Looking going into the
yeah,
S's there, he really wants to get around him.
Oh, and he's done for the day. Well, the good news is, with that retirement, everyone, as long as you get to the end of lap 50, you get to the end of lap 50, so the start of lap 51 is basically what I'm saying. You will be guaranteed at least 1 point. That's the key. You got to get to the end of lap 50. Because in this race, normally you have to get until 3 laps to go. So the start of lap 26 would be how far you need to get. Oh, Drastic Blaze is pitting. Evo's been caught out by Blaze's undercut. This could be huge.
Let's see what he goes on to. Oh, 5 seconds.
Oh, what?
3 seconds for Easton,
No,
sorry.
that's
3
3
seconds
for
for
Easton. I saw 5. I was like, wait, that's way too late. What? What happened?
Was that Tornado, maybe? Who was that?
No, it was Easton who got the 3.
Okay, I
Yes, Easton
swear I
and
saw
Tornado
5.
have 3. Evo only a quarter of a second off his personal best lap, so he is absolutely throwing the car into these corners here to avoid getting undercut too much. Because if he gets undercut by more than a second, that is going to be drastic for him. Speaking of drastic, Blaze coming up to the back of Muddy Biscuit now. He's going to have to make quick work of this Aston.
14 laps seems early to me.
14 for the softs. I don't think it's too early, but it is a little early.
Okay,
you're doing 100% around here.
Biscuit.
Yeah, he's just drove right
Breezes past.
Muddy was a sitting duck. I don't think Muddy wanted to defend that. I think he was just like, yeah, you can pass me. I'm not fighting for P1 here.
No, that was no reason to ruin your race for a position that is inconsequential at the time.
Especially if you and him ended up actually having contact and literally taking each other out. Which, believe you me, as a commentator, I've seen happen more than once or twice. And Evo stays out another lap. I only just realized this. Evo didn't pit.
Oh.
he stays out an
Maybe
extra lap, so he
feels
might
like
be
those
going
tyres are
on to the
good.
hards. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, Jurassic Blaze gets past Easton. Easton not putting in any effort on the defense. He knows he doesn't really have much of a chance. If he does try to defend, he might mess up and then lose himself even more time. Plus, he's pulled away from Muddy Biscuit, and I would say Muddy's probably his fight.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And JD
Jenkins, Logan not losing Crazy Fish though.
Oh, we got a new driver possibly in the thing. Someone pull up the Discord link for Daniel Welsh. Welcome into the stream, bud. How are you doing? Fade still having DRS on Dan Burnett, but not able to catch up to him and pass him. Which means Dan might have just enough straight line speed where Fade's DRS isn't going to help him that much. I was hoping Devil Noob could have gotten points tonight. JD, well, I can apologize on the DNF. Binned it out of the pits. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. And we have Evo staying out another lap, so he's going to at least do 17 laps on these softs. Gotta wonder where his tires are percentage-wise. Invade's in the pits now after 16 on the mediums. 16 on the mediums for Invade. Meanwhile, Evo's still out, going to do at least 17 laps. Drastic Blaze is just taking the fastest lap with a 136.814. Yeah, I can understand why you would, retire in that situation.
Thank you for putting the link in that. And
doing good, Daniel. Just commentating, trying to pass the time because a lot of this race, of course, isn't going to be the most interesting race of the season. It's going to be a war of attrition, frankly.
Absolutely. Drastic Blaze next up for him is Matt Stappen.
Oh yeah, look at that. He is right on his gearbox. He's not. Ooh, hold on. Max actually got a good bit of straight line speed there. He pulled away from Drastic for a good second. But yeah, then the DRS came in and he immediately drove right back past him.
Looked like a small lock up there from Drastic. Very small, but a small can make a big difference in a percent.
Drastic putting up another purple middle sector. Might be putting in an even better lap this time around. Next man up for him is going to be Dan Burnett.
Evo round for another lap.
Yeah, he's only 10 seconds ahead of Drastic Blaze now. Drastic Blaze doing more than just taking advantage of this. Lap. Drastic actually didn't improve on his lap. He was 2/10 down, but that's still an incredibly fast lap for this race. Seeing as he's got the fastest lap, let's look how much. Oh, wow, yeah. He's got the fastest lap by almost a second on everyone. The next fastest guy is Evo, and his best lap's 0.8 of a second slower. So, yeah, you can imagine how much that's affecting this race. I for sure thought Evo was going to come in right after Blaze. I thought he just got cut out by a undercut.
Yeah,
that will give
absolutely.
him 6. I figured he'd come right in, but no, he's staying out. I think he's trying to see how far he can push the sauce. I'd say if he can get 22 laps out of him, he should just go to the mediums. Just go to the mediums, see how far you can take them.
Yeah.
Plus your tires will be so much fresher than Drastic Blazes. You'll be making time on him like crazy.
See, Drastic definitely has to stop again. He has to.
50%. Luke JLP said that he did 17 laps on the softs and it was 50% by the end of the 17 laps. So Evo's tires are at least half dead. I'd say at least. I don't.
At least.
I don't think they're. And he does finally come in.
He does box.
That's gonna make Tornado our provisional leader, but how long is that gonna last with Drastic Blaze now? 7/10 behind him.
He's there.
And yeah, he's 6, 5/10, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's going to dive down
And
the
got
inside
it.
and take the lead. His tires are 4 laps fresher. Easton does get a 5-second speeding penalty in the pits after 18 laps on the mediums. He's going to stick around, though, because he knows he can at least get P10, worst case scenario. And he's going on to the softs. That's a rather interesting strategy call there. Maybe he just wants to have a fast stint where he's on a good set of tires. Not even got to the hairpin, and drastic plays over a 1.5 seconds ahead of Tornado. Thanks to the Discord I have joined. That's good. That's awesome. Love to see new people in the leagues. Leagues, whatever they're in. New people join in, period, is always a good thing. Evo now with 4 lap fresher tires and drastic delays. He is currently 12.3 seconds back. It's not a huge gap, actually. It's much less than I thought it would be. For some reason, I thought he'd be like 20 seconds back. He only came in when he was like 7 seconds ahead, so I thought close to 20 back would be a fair estimate. And no, he's P4, only 12 seconds back, and looking good.
I mean, it is a short pit lane here.
Yeah.
It's the minimum for what it needs to be.
There's so many pit lanes. I wish were either shorter or faster or both.
Yeah.
Like Zandvoort, I wish it was faster. Like it was 50. I'm pretty sure it was 50 miles an hour when I first brought it to F1 games, and then they made it 37 miles an hour for whatever reason.
My least favorite pit lane is probably Silverstone. Can't stand it.
Oh, Silverstone is the worst. I mean, if it's not the worst,
just takes
bottom 3 pit lane. You lose 30 seconds in the pit lane. It doesn't matter if you have a perfect entry to the pits and perfect exit and perfect pit stop. Literally, it does not matter. You're losing like 27 seconds. Best case scenario, 27. You're missing.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you miss like 35. I mean, I've done commentary on races where a guy had a 20-second lead, decided to pit with 2 to go, and came out 10 seconds back because the pit lane is just god-awful at Silverstone.
Invade could be in trouble. There's 6% ERS left. That is...
Verstappen gets past Cengiz Logan for P7. His tires are 7 laps fresher, so he's probably going to be able to pull away from the Mercedes. But if Cengiz can keep up with the Red Bull, though, that he'll be in a very good spot. He'll at least be getting towed along.
Yeah.
And Dan Burnett is in the pits now after 20 laps on the mediums. Imagine he'll be going on to the hards now and taking them to the end. Evo has just taken fastest lap at 136, 169.
Mediums.
Hit loss here is 20 seconds. Oh, he's doing medium, so he might be doing medium, soft. Gonna come out probably right about where Max is. Might be able to keep P6. Oh, he just parks it right in front of the Red Bull. The Red Bull's gonna try and get around him, though. I don't know if he's gonna be able to. We're gonna go on board with Cengiz. Look, he is just hounding that Alpine, but pretty soon the medium tires of Dan Burnett are gonna heat right up, and then he's gonna be able to just pull away. Pit loss here is 20 seconds. Okay, I knew it was like 20 to 24. I knew it was a low 20. That's why I like Coda's pit lane. The pit lane entry is a little awkward, but it's actually a good pit lane. The speed's okay, the length isn't too long, and you don't lose too much time. We got Invade overtaking Muddy Biscuit. Much fresher hards versus 20-lap-old mediums. Depending on Muddy's strategy, I'd say he should probably think about pitting soon.
Cengiz is sticking with the Red Bull as it stands.
He's doing a good job so far. And Tornado's crashed.
Oh!
Tornado's crashed to full course safety car. That's going to help out Muddy Biscuit immensely. What has happened? He's crashed at the pit entry. Yep, there's
doesn't need to stop, but he is.
Bits of his car right there at the pit entry. Oh, you've got a feel for Tornado there.
So we've got Invade in, Jengus in, Eastern in.
Crazy Fish also in after 18 laps on those mediums. He's going to get a free pit stop here, and he's going to be able to catch back up to the leaders. Meanwhile, Drastic Blaze is probably hating his life right now. Tires are 4 laps older than Evo's, and worst part for these two is Dan Burnett, over 17 seconds back, on basically fresh, brand new mediums, is going to be right behind him. His tires are going to be at an incredible advantage in the first few laps of after this restart.
This could be a very interesting restart this race.
I honestly hope, sidebar, honestly hope that Tornado gets the point for being P10. I know it's way too early, and they're probably not even thinking about that, but I mean, you do that many laps, you're hoping for points.
Something.
Is Drastic Blaze going to pit, I wonder? Suddenly Evo dropping way back off of Blaze. Dan Burnett also dropping a good back off of Evo. Drastic Blaze is in the pits. Imagine he'll probably be going on to a new set of mediums. Perhaps hards. Evo also coming in. Dan Burnett, I don't imagine he's going to be coming. Drastic's on the soft. He's going to have an incredible restart, but he's going to have to pit again. You don't want to have to pit again in this scenario. Evo's on the mediums. You're going to have to check his tires to see if he's done a difference. No, Evo's started on softs with Drastic Blaze. He theoretically
don't think they'll
could
go
take the
30 laps.
mediums to the end. I don't know if they're going to do that, but he could, if he wanted to, take them to the end. Dan Burnett, of course, stays out, as does Max. Jengus decides to stay out. A bit of a bold call there, considering all the fresh medium runners right behind him.
Yeah. Interesting choice, we'll say.
But these mediums that the fresh mediums everyone's on now, should be able to take them close to the end. But Drastic Blaze is going to have to either hope for another safety car at about 15 to 20 laps from now, or hope that his gap he pulls on this restart is enough to hit onto a set of mediums and go to the end. He took his first set of softs, what, like 16 laps?
Yes. Little lighter fuel load now, so maybe another couple of laps on top.
Yeah, he might be able to go another lap or two.
I would say around lap 40. And we'll see.
Oh, they'll easily go to 40. They'll probably get to close to, say, at least 43 with these laps under the safety car.
I wonder if he has... No, he won't. Did he start on the softs?
He did. Him and Evo both started on the softs.
So they definitely do not have another set of softs left. Well, Drastic Blaze doesn't. Unless he went for the softer options.
Evo definitely has at least one left.
We got going in the chat. Unlucky's for tonight. No, absolutely unlucky.
Yeah, you could definitely take
swallowed up on the restart.
From here.
I'm with you on that one, Jarvis. Jengus, I do believe, is going to get eaten alive.
Oh yeah, that's why I was. That's what I was worried about when he decided to stay out on those hards. He'd already done 10 laps on them before the safety car came out. They're not going to feel awful, but they're certainly not going to feel that good, especially not compared to the mediums behind them. or the softs of Drastic Blaze.
And he's got to hope he can keep some temp in them and the safety car.
If he's doing anything that Drastic Blaze is doing, I'd say he might be able to keep good temp in them.
Ooh, this has made things interesting. I do love a good safety car.
Yeah, 100%. Race 2 is definitely spicing things up. At least for the
Yeah,
next
fresh
5 to
hards
10
definitely
laps.
go to the end. Max Verstappen may have a chance to go to the end. They're only 5 laps old, 3 of those behind safety car.
Fresh Hearts could have made it to the end, as you said, from lap 20 on.
Yeah.
Said they could go 36 to 42 laps, so I mean, if you pit at the end of lap 20, they could have gotten it.
Yeah.
It won't me on the website. What? Safety
Later
car
on the
will be in this
website.
lap.
Yeah.
So your safety car restart order: Drastic Blaze, SLR Evo, Dan Burnett, Max Stappen, Jangus Logan, Invade, Muddy Biscuit, Crazy Fish, and CRF1 Easton. Well, let me on the website. Oh, okay. I've seen the website be kind of finicky right now. Give it a minute or two, or a day, depending on how long you're willing to wait. For tire order: soft, medium, 3 laps soft, 5 hards, 12 hard, and fresh mediums for the bottom 4.
Drastic is
And
gone.
it looks like
He's
Drastic's already gone, yeah. It's a fantastic jump on Evo there, especially on the softer tire. And it's green flag conditions back out here at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Crazy Fish
Watching
and
the two
Easton
Mercedes.
swapping
Ooh.
positions.
RSF1
Jenkins, you've got to let
leads the
Easton
back.
through.
Jenkins.
If you're Jenkins, you got to let Invade through now. You cannot wait. I mean, look at how much slower he is through these corners compared to Invade. Invade's having to back off to avoid running into his teammate.
He's got to let him go.
Yeah, he's got to give him the position. You can't hold him up. I understand you don't want to lose the position. There you go. That's the teamwork
That's the
game
smart
you've got
thing
to
to
play. And very aggressive move there to defend against Muddy. Almost resulted in contact. Oh, we got contact here between Easton and Muddy.
That was everyone's great stuff.
Very feisty restart here. About 25 out of 56. Again, if you're Jangus, you gotta hold these guys up. I don't think he's gonna be able to stick with Invade, but he's gotta hold these guys up behind so his teammate doesn't have to worry about the people behind him. Jangus a 3-second.
Jangus.
Oh my God, he goes incredibly wide.
Evo with the
We got
fastest lap.
Muddy's in the pits, so Muddy did get damage from the contact between him and Jangus, or perhaps the contact between him and an Easton. Max Stappen and Invade now side by side here for P4. Looks like Invade's got the position off of the Red Bull. P4 and P7 for Mercedes right now.
So Easton is past Jengus. I did not see where that happened. Must have been on the back on the start finish straight. Jengus now the crazy fish behind him is going to go straight past him here before.
Yeah, he
Before
gets
the back
past
straight.
with relative ease. And Evo, hold on, Evo has passed Drastic Blaze.
Oh,
This is catastrophic for Drastic Blaze. If he wants to make this soft choice work, he's got to just run away with it, and Evo right now
Absolutely.
is leading him. I'd say he's got to at least have a 10-second gap over Evo by the time he pits, and I don't know what's happened, but this restart has not
Is
been
losing his back
light.
end. I don't know if he's lighting his tyres up or what's going on, but
Very
he
well
does
could
not
be.
look comfortable.
No, he certainly doesn't. It's not a good look here for the Alfa Romeo driver. DRS is enabled now, but is Drastic going to be able to use that to his advantage, get past Evo, and then pull away the 1+ seconds he needs to? His first few laps on the soft are the most crucial. He's got to use these laps to get past and get away. He's already used a full lap behind Evo, which is going to strongly hinder his chances here.
That looked like a little corner cut as well. He needs to be careful of that.
Yeah, we haven't checked warnings yet, but we have checked penalties. Again, 6 for both Invade Easton, 3 for both Jengus and Crazy Fish. DRS open for Drastic Blaze, but look at how far back he is. He is just... Oh man, this is rough for the Alfa Romeo, and the worst part for him is Evo has just as much ERS as Blaze does. So it's not like Evo is using every ounce of his ERS to stay ahead. He's used just as much. And it's almost like he's starting to pull away a little. Not a lot, but you can see he's about half a car length further ahead of him than he was last lap. So this corner is more like 2.5 car lengths ahead.
As it stands, Drastic has 2 warnings against him so far.
Oh boy.
Whereas Evo has none.
Oh boy, that's bad. It's very bad for Evo. In a normal 50% race, this would be the final lap, but as it's a full distance race, it's only, well, by the end of the lap, halfway through.
Max Verstappen still within DRS of Easton.
And Dan Burnett is also behind. Drastic almost out of DRS. He just barely gets it there.
I don't think he's enjoying his life on those tyres.
No, I don't think he's going to get much of a tow here either from Evo. No, now he certainly is. He certainly is, but he's, as you can see...
Not enough.
Ooh, and he locked up the tires a little bit there. I think the last thing Drastic Blaze needs is Dan Burnett to catch up to him and start getting a tow off of him.
Yeah, he does not need another fight while Evo's in front.
The only other fight on track for position is between Max and Crazy Fish for P6.
For me, the first set
battery
was where Drastic should be all over the back of Evo through the S's, and he's just not. Those tires are not working for him.
No, first stint he was doing a very good job, but that's also because Evo was also on the softs. Now with them on different tires, it looks like Evo might be better on the mediums than Drastic is on the softs.
And he's broken, nearly broken DRS.
Yeah, 9/10 near about there. And Easton's crashed. It's another full course safety car. There's Easton right there in the gravel trap.
That he may very well have saved Drastic there.
That I think definitely did. I think he's gonna get off of these tires now and get onto a new set of mediums. Drastic going very slowly down back straight. It's allowing Evo to get a little bit of a gap.
Very tempted to go onto the hards. I know there's less than half left. I'm not sure mediums could do it.
From here, I think mediums can. 27 laps on the mediums, I'd say you'd be good.
Hmm.
It'd be a bit rough by the end, but you'd be okay.
That's it. With the hards, have more grip towards the end of the race, and
Yeah, Genghis Logan, who's probably feeling happy. Probably the happiest driver right now. He gets to get off of those hards. Jurassic Blaze goes into the pits. Evo stays out. Dan Burnett also pits.
ooh,
Invade's going to take P2. Max Stappen pits after 10 laps on his hards. 11, I should say. Crazy Fish in the pits. Genghis Logan, after what just happened on that last restart, you've got to pit. You do not have an option. Crazy Fish and Dan Burnett both onto a brand new set of mediums. Genghis, good news there. Yes, he's going to be able to go onto a set of mediums. Take him to the end here. Muddy Biscuit, he's not going to pit. He's going to stay out after 4 laps on the hards. He's still going to stick with them. Although he hasn't done much race trim with them, so probably not that worn out.
That kind of makes sense to me to stay on. Although if you're already at the back, does it? Oh,
I don't think it really matters
judgment
too
call
much
on that
for
one.
Muddy right now. I don't think it's a bad idea sticking with the hards, especially if another safety car comes out with like 10 to 15 from laps from now. You'll definitely be happy you stuck on them. There.
Yeah.
That's what beats Genghis Logan out of the pit, so he takes P7. Genghis, I imagine, will pass him, though, on the restart here. And now the main two guys who are definitely going to be reeling on this restart are going to be Evo and Invade. 7 and 8 laps on those tires each.
Yeah. Drastic should be able to make some progress. Oh, it is not guaranteed, as we saw Drastic on the softs and Evo straight past.
Yeah. I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched.
No. Dan Burnett, Crazy Fish doing what I probably would have done in the same situation.
I can't blame them for picking the hards. They'll definitely last, and your hards will probably be better than the mediums at that point of the race. The only question is how much better are you going to be able to take advantage of that?
How much time have you lost in the run-up to those last few laps where they're going to come better than the mediums?
I mean, if these top two can defend against Drastic Blaze, like really hold him up, he's been known to not be so great with the dirty air. We just saw it when he was on his softs. He was not able to he wasn't even able to catch up to Evo. Evo was starting to pull away, and had the safety car not come out, he may have pulled away completely.
I believe maybe 2 more laps and he would have been out of that DRS, and
it would have been Evo's race to lose at that point.
Absolutely.
Lucky for Drastic Blaze, Easton binned it. Don't know if that's his fault or not. Obviously, I didn't see what happened.
Nor did I, unfortunately. So 31 laps through the 50. Oh, safety car in this lap.
That it will be. Restart order: Evo, Invade, Drastic Blaze, Dan Burnett, Max Stappen, Crazy Fish, Muddy Biscuit, Genghis Logan. We started with 13 drivers. We're down to 8. Across the line, it'll be 31 laps down, 25 to go.
If the drastic plays to have a lightning start. He needs a lightning start.
Backing him up as much as he can out of the final corner, and he's going to go now. Not really catching anyone out. Oh, actually, Invade did not have a very good run out of that final corner. Didn't really catch him out. Invade just had a poor exit out of the final corner.
Just a little those wheels. Little tires, should I say?
I think Invade. Oh, we got a move by Drastic Blaze already, and look at that. He just went right around him like he was sitting still.
That was a beautiful move.
Absolutely phenomenal. Dan Burnett now with the 3 seconds. It's his first of the race. Drastic Blaze wasting no time to catch back up to the back of Evo. Question is, can he catch up to the back of Evo? They're both using as much ERS as they can get their hands on. Evo using a good bit more. Continuing to catch to the back. Verstappen just getting past the Alpine of Dan Burnett for P4 there. Max with no penalties right now. He's on for P3 if it's stopped right now.
Crazy fish coming to back Dan Burnett as well.
Drastic Blaze puts the fastest lap of the race. 35.731. That he's caught up to the back of Evo. Evo needed Invade to defend there, and unfortunately, Invade just not a great first lap after the restart. You know, Drastic Blaze having an absolute dream restart. Look at this, he's right behind him now.
Invade now way out of DRS even before it had been reactivated.
Yeah, he's over almost a second and a half off the back of Drastic Blaze.
He is leaving himself open to Max Verstappen.
DRS yet. People using a little bit of ERS to get away.
7 lap young tyres for Max Verstappen. That should be all he needs the next lap, I would imagine.
Hey, wake him up. Drastic Blaze, not. Maybe he doesn't have as much straight line speed as Evo. It's my only guess as to why he hasn't been able to catch him.
It is the only thing that makes sense.
Ooh, big tank slapper there by Evo. Wow. He basically Tokyo drifted his way through that final corner. Yeah, Drastic's going to go right by him. Evo trying to get the switch back, but his tires are dead. There's nothing he can do about it. Max Verstappen invades side by side.
Laps,
Looks like Max is going to get him. And if you look now, look at how much Drastic is pulling away out of every corner.
I think Evo would be wise to box within the next 3 to 4 laps.
Gonna get DRS here. Not close enough there though. Vade also trying to get to the back of Max Verstappen. It's not enough though. Max having to overcorrect a bit of a snap there out of that corner.
I think Invade needs to be more worried about Dan Burnett than he does Max Verstappen at the minute.
Oh, certainly does.
Crazy
He has
Fish
a
also
harder
trying to get on
tire,
the back
but
of this
they're 8
fight.
laps fresher.
I didn't mean to ask, are you reserving for this race Thursday?
No, still can't. I don't think. Even if I could, I definitely wouldn't. I'm not trying to do 100% around Coda. I like Coda, not enough to do 100%. No, thank you. Invade gets another
Invade
3
with
seconds. That gives
3
him 9.
seconds. The rest
Evo,
of
despite much older
is down to
tires,
an
is
-3.
still able to keep up with Drastic Blaze, so he's still getting the toe down the straights. Not able to do a whole lot with said toe, but
We saw that in the first thing, though. He did take his soft tires a long way. So it's perhaps a little nicer to his tires than Drastic.
certainly is. Invade getting past Burnett. Or I should say back past him. Terrible exit, though. What was that? Ouch.
Burnett out, bastard past him again.
Yeah. Looking like a nice scrap here for P4. On
Crazy
track
Fish
anyway.
looking with intent behind.
Certainly is.
Full-time Burnett with a wobble on the exit.
Ooh. Looks like Crazy Fish is going to get past Invade here for P5.
Drastic is just not pulling away from Evo.
No, he's 7-lap fresher mediums, and he's actually lost about 0.3 of a second. Evo.
Jenga slow is set on 84% ERS.
I think he's just trying to get to the end of the race.
Yeah.
Not a bad
Guaranteed
strategy.
points.
He's going to get at least 4 points here tonight. Definitely not a bad finish. Evo, look at this. He's just a car length back on the gearbox of Drastic Blaze. There's absolutely zero reason Drastic Blaze shouldn't be able to pull away unless he keeps having slappers like that. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely nuts what he's doing to his rears right now. Perfectly explains though why he hasn't been able to pull away despite the fresher tires. His aggressive setup is just killing. Either that or it's his own aggression on the gas.
Could be a mixture of
Look
both
at this
at the minute, I
Evo.
feel.
No, Evo's not going to go for the move. I was going to say he's definitely close enough for it, but he did not go for it there.
Biding this time, I believe, for the longer straight.
Don't get it twisted. Drastic Blaze is a fantastic driver. He's very fast, but not the best on his tires. Physically assaults them, basically. And if you don't believe me, just look what he's done in this race. Again, love the guy. All the respect in the world for him, but yeesh, the tire management is just killing him right now.
He's very fast, but
It's like
Say,
Charles
look, two
Leclerc.
left
He's got
on the tires.
phenomenal pace. He's got phenomenal qualifying ability. But God forbid if you tell him to take it easy on the tires.
yeah, it's not going to happen.
Don't know if Max Verstappen's been catching these guys or not. He's 3 seconds off still. I don't know if he has. I don't think. But...
He was around 3.8, I believe. So.
Oh, we got yellows. It's
we got
Genghis.
Mercedes.
Looks like he's fine though. Take it
No,
real
no
nice and
damage that I
easy
can
if
see.
he has to. Just no, I think he just spun it.
Let the tyres cool back down again.
Max Verstappen 2.8 seconds off. The last thing Evo needs is someone towing off the
A
back
lockup
of
like
him.
that.
Who had a lockup?
Evo locking up in turn 1.
Evo, you say?
Yes, yeah.
Definitely not good. His tire's already 15 laps old. I don't think he needs those kind of lockups. He doesn't need any kind of lockup, frankly. But yeah,
Because he was just 3/10.
another yellow.
Cengiz again, I believe. Yeah, Cengiz with another spin.
Evo just barely getting DRS there. Nine-tenths off the
The
back.
only
of
driver with
Alfa
DRS
Romeo.
at the minute.
Drastic now has about 14% more ERS than Evo does. 57 to 44, 46 now.
.60 for Drastic at the minute. 59.
Verstappen had brought the gap down. Drastic Blaze with
Oh,
a
Drastic,
3
3
second
seconds.
time penalty. Oh, this could be huge.
That's all Evo needed to see. Doesn't need to go past him. Stick with him.
Not the best exit out
But
of
he's
turn
gonna
1 there for Evo. Outside the
have a tough
DRS
time
now, he's
taking
1.2.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough time taking those meters at the end of this race.
Yeah, he was in the dirty air at Drastic Blaze for quite a bit there, so it's definitely going to be hard. Here's another problem. Max Verstappen's now only 2.5 back off of him. As soon as Evo crosses DRS activation, he's 1.8 seconds off.
Yeah, he's, those tyres are done, I believe.
He's hit the second cliff, I think. It's like 3 cliffs in tire performance in this game. First when you hit 25, the second when you hit like 40, and the third when you hit like 65, 60, 65 range.
Oh,
Look at that, Evo's
he's
now
got a
only
decision to make.
2 seconds back. I mean, if Evo
the thing is,
doesn't pit
Max
this
Verstappen is
time,
still
he's got to pit
2-4.
soon.
Max Verstappen's still 2-4, so that means Drastic is actually pulling away rather than Evo dropping back.
We'll look at the leader gap between Drastic and Max Verstappen since they're on the same tire.
Currently sat at 4.9 from the leader, who's Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it was when I first put it on, it was 4.8. Drastic is definitely pulling away.
Max Verstappen only 1.9 behind Evo now.
I'd say the one thing Drastic needs to worry about is the amber net. Currently the same on time penalties. Both have 3 seconds. Stands on 10 lap old hards. When do the mediums start to fall off and when do the hards start to come into play?
Could set up a very, very entertaining finish.
Certainly could. I think if Evo wants to have any chance at fighting back for the win, he's going to have to pit onto softs or something right about now. You got 16 laps to go when they cross the line here.
He did take the previous softs. Was it 19? 18?
Very close to 20 laps, and that was to start the race on, so was definitely.
Much heavier fuel load. I think he needs to stop this next time round.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's going to be too late.
Max Stappen, anyway, lost 0.6 of a second that lap to Jurassic Blaze. Meanwhile, he's caught up to Evo by about 0.5.
That's, yeah.
Evo now over almost 4 seconds. Now over 4 seconds off the back of Jurassic Blaze. He's got, I mean, the desperation creeping in, I imagine.
And all
But
Max
if you're
Stappen
caught
has to
in
do is
this
stay within
position-
3 seconds of him.
Certainly. If you're caught in this position as Evo, dropping time to the leader, he's got a 3-second gap. Your tires are 7 laps older. Do you pit now, or do you just continue pushing on? I imagine that the consensus would be to pit now. But Evo has stayed out an extra lap, and I'm thinking maybe now he's going to pit. If not, it's... I don't know.
Jade and Muddy Biscuit are the closest on track at the minute. But in favour, just 10% ERS. Muddy Biscuit 33, so Muddy Biscuit might be able to keep that one.
Evo once again staying out another lap. He's going to at least go 20 laps on these mediums, but these mediums are dead. They're dead in the water. He's got nothing left in them. At least not compared to the other guys around them. Go to the leader gap. Dan Burnett's lost about a second since the last time I checked. Invade in the pits now. He's done 20 laps on those
20 laps.
mediums. He's going to go softs to the end, I imagine, and that he will. He's going to come out a good distance ahead of his teammate. I don't wonder whether Jangus will end up taking a set of softs with like 2 or 3 to go to take fastest lap.
Could say maybe go for a fastest lap.
Currently, fastest lap belongs to Jurassic Blaze. So has that 35.7 from earlier. Anyway, Evo 4.3 seconds off. How much longer does he choose to stay out? I mean, he's just watching he's watching Jurassic Blaze just walk away with it right now. 4.2 seconds. Even if he closes in like another 10th or 2, it doesn't matter.
Drastic with a big sliding off track there.
Well, that explains why. Oh, wow, yeah, he gained like 0.6 on Drastic there. Again, stays out. This is dangerous territory.
Interesting place.
I mean, can Evo make it to the end on those hard mediums? Yeah, maybe, but do you really want to find out?
I personally would not want to find out.
I mean, you already know what I would have done. I would have pit 2 laps ago.
Yeah, so
I'd have been like, screw it. I'm not going to gain time on the guy. Might as well pit onto softs and try and see what I can do. If all I do is just get back up to P2, I'm like, hey, whatever. It's all good. At least I tried something.
If I saw that I was losing 5-6 tenths a lap, it's a no-brainer for me. He should have stopped, in my opinion.
Even if they had the same tire life, he may have pulled Jurassic may have pulled the gap on him anyway.
Or does he not have any new sets of tires?
If he doesn't have any new sets of tires, he's got to go to a used set of softs. Might be why he's going all these extra laps just to pit. But he only used 1 set of softs for the race, I think, so he's got to have a clean set of softs unless he went with harder compounds.
I believe Evo was one of the people that used 3 sets of softs in qualifying.
Oh boy. If that's the case, he may or may not have a clean set of softs. If he doesn't, they've got about 4 to 5% on him.
They'd be good now.
Oh boy, Evo, a little bit of a loss of the rear end there. His tires are pretty much dead, so I can see why he's losing it. Fade's best lap there is 8/10 slower than Drastic Blaze's best lap.
Drastic Blaze is very quick. We've seen that today.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen now 1.5 behind Evo.
Here's another thing. Max Verstappen now 6 seconds off the back of Drastic Blaze. Dan Burnett now 10 seconds back. I mean, you gotta wonder when.
To lose, I feel.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, Max Verstappen very
Max
wide.
just way. I saw it for like a split second. Max was incredibly wide there.
And yet didn't lose any time to Evo.
Gotta wonder whether that counted as a warning, though.
Let me check. It indeed count as a warning.
It did. How many does he have?
Look at the right thing to do. Oh no, sorry, no, it doesn't Max. It's given Evo has a warning now. 2 warnings in fact.
Oh boy. I think he's got the 2 warnings trying to keep up with Blaze. He may have cut 2 separate corners to try and keep himself within the 3 seconds. Oh my god, Drastic with an absolutely disgusting tank slapper there. I mean, he was basically a 90-degree angle with the track there. That is how hard of a tank slapper that was. I'm shocked he didn't literally blow both his rears. I mean, I know his tires are 7 laps younger than Evo's, but still, that was absolute atrocity to traction.
He needs to be careful with them. They do another 10 laps yet, which is granted a lot less than Evo's need to go. But
well, 11 if you count this lap.
Yep.
45
Evo
down.
on 23 lap holes now. That's
Somehow still keeping a 1.9 second gap to Max, so props to him. But imagine the amount of time he would have gained if he had a pit for softs. The last opportunity he's got, I'd say, is this lap. If he doesn't pit this lap, he's got no chance at catching him and winning.
No.
Unless Drastic decides to pit for softs just for, I don't know, whatever reason he finds.
Drastic definitely doesn't have a new set. He's already been on 2 sets of softs.
No, he doesn't. He can't pit for softs. He'd have to pit onto an old set of softs from qualifying.
Yeah. Oh, we got
a
yellows
yellow
for Jengus.
Jengus. Good news for him. He keeps it going, though.
Spin on turn 1 again. He's had some problems with turn 1 today.
This is tier 1. And once again, Evo choosing to stay out. He's done 24 laps on those mediums. At the end of this lap, he'll do 25. Whether or not he chooses to pit, of course, is his own decision. I just can't believe
why have so many people retired? Couple of crashes.
Yeah, we had 2 people crash. A couple retired because they were going to go down a lap. Nice helicopter angle here. Love to see it. You can just see the giant gap between Evo and Blaze. Evo at this point is going to have to hope Blaze gets another 3 seconds, or that that Blaze spins out completely.
Same with the the rate that the gap is increasing. I don't really think another 3 seconds will be enough.
No, I think even if lockout, we got tire smoke there. I think Drastic may have locked up the tires there. Definitely not what you want to do with a 5-second lead with 10 laps to go. And the 3-second time penalty to boot.
Evo is maintaining the 5 seconds.
He's been able to keep
Max
his lead
Verstappen
over Max.
Not able
Closest
to
those two have gotten.
make any inroads.
Yeah, the closest Max has gotten to him is about 1.4 seconds there. Not sure if he's going to be able to catch Evo unless he either pits or has a tire blowout.
Max currently set on 25% more ERS. I think now is around time to start using it, trying to close the gap. We've now extended to 2 seconds.
Another tank slapper there from Drastic Blaze. It's mentally draining. Yeah, it definitely, even as a commentator who's done a good number of 100% races as a comm, it definitely gets a little, like, what are you supposed to talk about this late in the race? What are you supposed to say? You're just racking your brain for anything. I can't imagine what it's like for the drivers. I mean, I can, because I've done 100%ers, but this track, yeah.
To commentate on, really, at the minute.
No, the closest battle literally is for P2, and it's almost 2 seconds between the two. They can see each other. They cannot battle each other. I don't think Max Verstappen's got anything left in the car, really. I think at this point he's just trying to nurse the tires home. Evo, I imagine, is hugely nursing. I mean, he's still pushing a little bit here through the S's, as you can see, but he's not doing what he did in the first 10 laps of the stage. He is very much just trying to get the car home, I think, at this point. And then just hoping
Max
for the best.
Verstappen can't stop. If Max Verstappen stopped now, he'd come out P6.
He'd come out at
P6.
Evo would come out ahead of Muddy, I think. I'm not sure about Max. And
Invade
with another 3. That's 12 now. He's the only one with more than 3 seconds. Those without 3 include Evo, Max Verstappen, and Muddy Biscuit. I think even a virtual safety car would help out Evo quite a bit, but I don't think we're going to get one here this late. This late, only 8 drivers left. I mean, even a retirement would probably not result in a safety car or VSC.
I think, is it less than 5 and it doesn't do it?
Jangus gets his second 3-second penalty. No, you can have a safety car with 4 to go at most tracks.
4. Okay.
But it'll immediately come in at the end of 3 to go / beginning of 2 to go. I think the only track that doesn't do that is Spa. where I had a league race where the safety car came in and all we did was the final lap. Ended up going from P6 that race to P2.
Nice.
And after penalties were applied, I ended up winning. I was like, yeah,
Not
okay,
bad.
I don't know what just happened there, but yeah, I won. Hooray. I was absolutely confused. Happy. Pleasantly surprised, but definitely like, huh? Like, I'm sitting P6, and all of a sudden, two people took each other out at Radion, and then two more took each other out at Lake Home at the end of the Camel Straight, and then I was just following the guy in P1. I was like, hey, man, don't mess up, and we'll be good. So I was in his party, and then he ended up getting a penalty like 2 days later, and he was pretty upset about it. He appealed it, and unfortunately, the appeals process did not go in his favor. Unfortunately for him, anyway. For me, I was happy.
Yeah, yeah. Max Verstappen now with 35% more ERS than Evo needs to start using it.
I think if you're Max, just keep saving until it hits 2 to go, and then start using quite a bit of it to get in the DRS. And then on the final lap, just go absolutely, you know what, on the ERS.
Wild.
I was going to say something different than wild, but yeah, we'll go with wild.
Yeah, wow.
Evo's now done half the race on these set tires. Yeah. He has been on the set of mediums since lap 22. I mean, these tires have got to be screaming at Evo at this point.
I'm a little impressed how long it's taken, I'll be honest.
Yeah, showing the lower divisions that they might be able to take the mediums that far too. Might, of course, being the key word. He might be a lot better than you in tire management. You might be a lot better than him. I don't know.
I do all right on them sometimes.
For me, it depends on the track. Some tracks I'm really good with the tire management. Others I am god-awful. Oh my god, Drastic Blaze with another tank slapper. And the what, like 5.7 second lead he had over Evo's already dropped down to 4.7?
4.7.
That's definitely not good. Out of the final corner, he's got 5 laps to go now as he crosses the line to start lap 52. One thing you definitely don't want to do if you're Drastic is burn out whatever's left in your tires. And Evo, I don't know how much he's got left. He probably doesn't have much of anything left. Dan Burnett with another 3 seconds. That's going to give him 6, I believe, on the race now. Good news for him is he's 7 seconds ahead of Crazy Fish, so... And Crazy Fish also has a 3 of his own, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. Show pens? Yeah. Again, we've got 3 seconds for Drastic Blaze, 6 for Dan Burnett, 3 for Crazy Fish, 6 for Jangus Logan, 12 for RSF1 Invade.
Oh! Big slide from Evo there.
That's not good. That might allow Max Verstappen to catch up to him. Caught him by about a 1/10 there, though.
He's only half a car width away from putting it in the pit wall. And you would not want that at this stage in the race.
You definitely would not. And invade with yet another 3 seconds. It's 15 for him now. Sheesh. Drastic with I think a lockup there. Saw the smoke. Could have been the visual glitch.
Could have been. You thought they'd have fixed that by now.
Yeah, but I guess not. Evo's caught him by 2.5 seconds after the hairpin and down the straight, so might have been a lockup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, Invade. I'm kind of tired. Ugh. Evo catching up another few tenths on Drastic Blaze. What happened there? Blaze may have had another
Nothing on
tank
Drastic
slap.
Blaze's end. No, I am on with Drastic Blaze at the minute. There was no lockups, no tank slappers. I think it was purely a pace thing. Evo now 4.8.
0.6. Is something wrong with Blaze? Or is Evo just absolutely throwing the car into the corners? You can see him. He's definitely pushing as hard as he can right now.
He's pulled back to 2 seconds on max, so Evo is pushing.
Ooh. I think Evo might be, or Max Verstappen might also be pushing. You're trying to catch up to Evo and not realizing that Evo's also pushing.
Yep.
This lap here, the end of this lap is the last chance you get to pit for fastest lap. Any
See if
taker
anyone makes the call.
I'd say now's the time, like Genghis Logan. Oh, he's gonna stay out. Obviously, Drastic Blaze is not gonna pit. He only has a 4.9 second lead. If he pit now, he would pretty much lose the race.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'd come out behind Dan Burnett, and he'd have to deal with him, Max, and Evo, and they're all spread out a decent bit.
Yeah, there's not enough left to get anywhere near, I wouldn't think.
An ultimate lap of this race now.
Oh,
Oh, Genghis has crashed. Genghis has crashed.
Oh,
There he is right there. The good news for Genghis is he's going to still get the P8. The points with P8, I should say. Unfortunately for Genghis, his race is over. I don't know if he really cares either way. He was about 50 seconds behind his teammates, so he wasn't going to gain a position unless he crashed out. Someone else ahead of him. Invade with yet another 3 seconds. Jeez, this
So
must be
18
Invade's
now, I believe.
penalty simulator. Yeah, or 15, I think. No, it is 18. Wow, Jesus.
18.
All right. I just completely forgot about one of his 3-second penalties, I guess. Wow. That's something. We
Max
do
Verstappen now
not...
at 1.4.
Yeah, Max is pushing as much as he possibly can here to get that position. Come to the final lap. Get
1.2. Oh,
1.1 there. Final lap of the race has just started. Brought to you by the freest country on this planet Earth, the United States of America. Hey man, you know I had to say it. I gotta represent.
absolutely.
Oh, kind of hoping Max catches him here and gets the DRS. I want to see something. Oh, it would be absolutely bonkers if Drastic Blaze got another 3 seconds.
It would.
Alfa Romeo's gonna hate me for that if he does get one. He's not gonna get DRS here, unfortunately.
Massively wide.
Oh, did he?
Massive slide, sorry, not wide. What?
I was like, oh boy. Max using every ounce of ERS he's got left. He's not able to catch up to the back of Evo. He has the pace. He just, even with 7-lap fresher tires, he just couldn't get Evo. No shame in that. Evo is an incredible driver, but fantastic effort here by Max Verstappen. Watch on board, or watch along with our race leader, Drastic Blaze. Coming through the penultimate corner now, the final corner. Across the line now, Drastic Blaze is your winner of the United States Grand Prix. Evo is going to take P2, holding off Max Verstappen, who takes P3. P4 is Dan Burnett, rather lonely boy here. 9 seconds behind Max Verstappen, over 10 ahead of Crazy Fish. Evo with 34 laps on those mediums. I am absolutely astounded. Crazy Fish now crosses the line.
Some impressive work.
P6 for Muddy Biscuit. He'll take home 8 points for his team. And RSF1 Invade is going to take home P7 after a penalty-filled race from the Mercedes.
But it is a finish.
Driver of the day is Easton. I don't think Easton even... No, Easton didn't even finish the race. How was he driver of the day? Well, I guess he went from like P13 to like, or P14 technically, to P9. And I guess that was enough since there wasn't a whole lot of overtaking in this race. Here are your podium celebrations. Who would you say is your driver of the day?
I'm going to have to give it to Max Verstappen, I believe. I think to keep it clean the whole way through, not a single penalty, not even a warning. Max Verstappen.
Personally, I'd give it to RSF1 Comms. Word has it that he's apparently an F4 driver, and he finished P14 today in F1. I mean, P14 isn't super great or anything, but I mean, going from Tier 4 to Tier 1 is definitely a huge jump, and the fact that he finished P14 is pretty spectacular. All right. Let's get our podium finishers. We got, for one, Drastic Blaze and Evo.
No.
All right, hello.
Evening. Oh.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Um, tired after this race though. Tired naked.
Understandable. We're pretty tired ourselves.
Absolutely.
What was this gamer tag, man?
For
Max
Max Verstappen.
Verstappen. Was there anything else? Let's see. 305. All right.
I can't find it.
Yes, we're not. I invited him. I found him.
Okay.
Send one more to Drastic Blaze.
Oh, no mic for Drastic.
Ah. Right, so I guess it's just gonna be you since I haven't been able to get Max in. Max,
Yeah.
Drac, you guys are watching incredible races from both of you. Best of luck to you guys next week as we will be heading to the Las Vegas circuit.
There you go.
For another American Grand Prix, or as I call it, a Freedom Grand Prix. Right?
God.
And all right. Start off by just describing qualifying in your race. If
Yeah.
there's much you've got to say.
To be honest, both of them went a lot better than expected. To be honest, I've not been well for the last week and a half, so I've been off the game. So it's a nice result to come back to.
Absolutely. So, talk us through what was going through your head on towards the end of the race on those mediums that were 34 laps old, I believe, at the end.
Yeah, 34 laps at the end. Their mediums, oh my god, I never want to do that again. So, no, I was getting a bit scared when I seen Max like close it up quite quickly, and I was like, right, this is gonna be fun. So I asked Elvis like how many what his tires were on. Worked out there was like 8 or 9 laps fresher, and like fresher tires around here, you're like 3-4 tenths quicker just by delta, let alone driving a bit and like driving style as well.
Yeah.
So, but I was kind of glad then that it had stabilized out. I was able to keep him around what, like 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then the last lap I just give it everything I've got. Like I started getting a bit of pain with the shoulder and started feeling a bit weak. And I was like, right, I just wanted the race to end. So we got there. It was very fun. GG Max from the P3 and pushing me to the end. And congrats Blaze on the win. Would have been my win if the last safety car didn't come out there.
we were shouting and changed tires.
So,
Yeah, with like 15 to go, I was like, he's got to pit for sauce.
no, I knew I could comfortably do it. It was like when I done the softs on the first stint, It was 57% was the highest tire with like the softs, and I had already stretched them anyway. So I was like, I know I can comfortably do it. But yeah, going back now, I probably should have paired with about 16 laps to go, get some used regs on, and I would be flying the end then. But hindsight's a little
Absolutely,
bit.
yes. Still P2, not a bad result at all.
Yeah, my championship is off to a start now after missing the first race.
All right. Well, how are you feeling for Las Vegas, which will be our next track?
Not good. I've only done one race around there, like league race or GP race. I've only done one, and I've crashed out on that one. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But,
Right.
as long as I get points, I'll be happy.
I think
Okay,
that's
is
the
there
main
anything
aim
else
for
you want to
everyone,
add,
some
or
points.
is that everything?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
not from me.
like,
Okay.
just GG to all the finishers. Really, that was a tough race.
GG indeed to everyone who was in this race. See you guys next week as we head to Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, or as I said earlier, part 2 of the Freedom Grand Prix. And see you all tomorrow or I should say, catch you all next time. I've been your host, Ace Freak, alongside my co-commentator, Adam Moore. Thank you all for tuning in. Goodbye and good night wherever you are.